Hi, I'm Emma Raymaker, and I'm going to show you our unit tests for Actors Housing. So first I'll start off with the front-end unit tests, and I will show you the old and new Cypress tests. So we can see here that our tests passed, and I will also show you the tests themselves in Cypress. And we will choose component testing. And we can see this is an old test that the app component mounts to the test environment, and the title of the page is Actors Housing. We can see for the old registration test that the page mounts to the test environment and all the input fields are blank. The login test is also old, and that mounts to the test environment and all the inputs are blank as well. And the listing tests are new, and we can see that the listing page mounts to the test environment and that its fields are also blank. So we also added karma tests, and I will run those. All right, so we can see that the karma tests have run and they're successful. So for the listings component tests, so what we did was we created an instance of the listings component, set some input values, called the add listing function, and checked if a new listing was added to the listing array with the correct values. And you can see that test here. So there were some values inputted, and we just saw if they were successful. And then we also have for the home component, we verified if it was created correctly and that its instances were not null or defined, and we created a component fixture instance using the component instance property, and we made sure that it was true, and then we made sure that the home component was made sure it was working in the larger application. And then for the login test, you can see that here. So that just created an instance of login component and set the emails, set the email property, called the onSubmit function, and made sure that the email property is still set to the same value after that function is called. In the registration test, that creates an instance of the registration component, and checks if the required form controls are created properly in the create form function. And then in the user test that tests if an instance of the user component property is defined and has empty values for its fields. And we had to create an instance of the HTTP client and pass it to the constructor to make the HTTP requests. And finally, we can see that the app component tests just creates an instance of the app component and checks if the title is properly defined and has the correct value. All right, so now I will show you the backend tests. All right, so now that we're in the directory, I will run those Go tests. All right, so I just ran those Go tests, and we can see that so they passed. And we can see the two test files here. So they test the at the add listing function, and that adds values to the lists. The test search listing function, which searches through lists, and the remove listing function, which removes values from the list. And then we have the member list test, and that there we test the add member function, the search member function, and the test remove member function. All right, and those are all the unit tests. Thank you.